The gaming industry in 2024 has not even barely started yet. We're only 12 days into the new year as of recording this video. We're still in January, and there's still 11 months left to go. So you might be thinking, why am I making this video? Because there's not a lot to talk about on the gaming industry in 2024. But rather, there's a lot to look back on for the gaming industry in 2023, and there's a lot to look forward to in 2024. Now, it's to no one's surprise that the gaming industry last year was incredibly successful. I'm pretty sure it was like a record year for video games as a media, and it was incredible. We had some really, really cool games come out last year. Off the top of my head, things like Baldur's Gate 3 made absolute waves in the gaming community, and there were just a lot of incredible games last year. But another not so cool thing about last year with the industry was the layoffs. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. If you don't, then you must be living under a rock. But Bungie laid off, like thousands of people, including one of the legendary composers of the Halo soundtrack, whose name I'm blanking on right now. So, even though it was a really successful year for the industry, it was also a terrible year in regards of actually working in the industry, because so many people lost their jobs. And on top of that, we, in the past few years, not just 2023, but 22, 21 even back down to 2020, we've had a lot of games in the past few years where there have been the diamonds, there have been the really, really good games, the ones that come out that are really, really good and everyone thoroughly enjoys them and they sing their praises. But then there have also been the games that come out and just aren't finished, aren't done, don't work, are a scam. Very recently, what was it? Days Gone, or something like that. That MMO zombie survival division kind of spin-off thing, or whatever, like inspired game, finally released, and it was literally broken and unplayable, and it's already been taken off Steam. So, that was a huge scam. For want of a better word, it was literally just someone using assets and stuff to make cool looking trailers, and then when it actually came to releasing a product, they had nothing. They had like the bare minimum, and it was not even enough to function. So, I was thinking, what video do I want to be the first video of the new year? Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to focus on a game in particular? Do I want to look at my games and look at my long backlog of video games that I would like to 100% and kind of give an overview of, some of the ones I'd like to actually 100% this year, and then by the end of the year we'll see if I actually achieve that. Like, what do I want to do? So I thought I'd sit down and kind of just give a general kind of overview of kind of what I'd like to see from the gaming industry this year. And a lot of these are going to be, really naive and probably won't happen. But I figured it'd be nice to kind of imagine and maybe just speculate if this could perhaps be a really good all-round year for gaming, and not just successful in terms of the money, but successful in terms of the money and people actually not losing their jobs, and also in having games come out that actually work consistently and aren't just false promises or early releases because of peer pressure from either your audience or from investors and people higher up in the food chain in the job that you work. So no, there's no games in particular this year that are on my radar so far. Nothing in particular that I'm really keeping an eye on. I'm kind of just chilling as I go, basically, kind of just working my way through my backlog. You guys will have probably noticed by now that a lot of my videos use deep rock footage. Today's is no different, because I'm still trying to make my way through Deep Rock. I need to play 500 missions. I need to do Hazard 5 missions. I need to score 3,000 on a barrel game, which is horrible. So I've been just getting a bunch of footage from that. Every time I play, I stream it most of the time, and then I have fresh footage, of the same game, but it's new footage, so I can still use it. It just means I have stuff there. So you guys probably know by now that I'm not the type of person to see new games come out and immediately go and spend 70 quid on them, like a lot of people can. And I could do that, but I don't want to do that because, you know, I kind of like to work my way through my backlog. So there's no games in particular this year that I'm kind of keeping a year out for, or, you know, waiting for news on or anything like that. Nothing in particular. It's more of just a general, like, I would like 2024 and the gaming industry in this year to just be consistent. So I want games to actually come out finished this year. I don't want to have another Cyberpunk 2077 where, you know, they release the game, they just refuse to delay it any longer, and then they release it, and then there's this huge like backlash, and then 3 years later we get the game we were promised. Even though Cyberpunk's one of my favourite games, and you should definitely play it because it's incredible, and I've made 2 videos about it on the channel which you can go and watch. It's definitely worth a play, but when it came out there was no way in hell that I was buying it. And although I love Cyberpunk, I wish that was never the case. I just wish that we'd waited instead. I wish it had just been delayed more, and then it could have come out fully complete. I think that would have been better, but hindsight's a wonderful thing and we'll never know. But this year I'd like that to be different. I'd like devs to be able to stick to their guns and to be like, no, it's not finished. We're not giving you the game early because we know it's not done. We know if we release this in the state that it's in, we're going to get huge backlash and people are going to get very pissed off with us, and it's going to stain our reputation. So no, we're not having the game early. We don't give a fuck. Screw the investors, we don't care, because it's not done. Like, at the end of the day, video games are their craft. They are the ones that understand them better than anyone, because they are the people that can bring us these incredible experiences that we come to love and enjoy. So who are we to tell them when their game is finished? Now, I know deadlines are put in place to, you know, obviously, you know, make sure you're actually meeting your workload and stuff like that. Believe me, I've done I studied graphic design, and I'm all about deadlines and what they're there for. But sometimes shit happens. Sometimes something doesn't work. Sometimes the coding doesn't want to behave. Sometimes something just doesn't feel right. Sometimes a character maybe needs tweaking because it's not exactly as the devs wanted them to be. You know, there are a million different reasons why a game could be delayed. So I just like this year to be different. I'd like devs to stick to their guns. I'd like them to be like, you know what, if it's not done, it's not done. And even if it's like the 4th, 5th, 6th time delaying a game, I'd rather them delay it a 7th and it come out perfectly than them go, okay, we've delayed it 6 times, we might as well just release it, see what happens. And then they release it and it does terribly and everybody wants a refund and it stains their reputation for good. And then they spend the next 2 to 3 years then trying to mop up the mess, and then eventually the game is where it should have been at launch, but by that point it's too late and everyone's just either forgotten about it or is still pissed off about it, or will just never play it just out of spite. Something else I'd like from the industry this year as well is I'd like to just see, I don't know, I'd like to see some games, and when I say some games, I mean in particular, actually do something different. A really, really good example would be Call of Duty. I would love to see COD kind of not be the way that it has been the past few years. I'm sure a lot of you understand where I'm coming from. I feel like I don't need to explain myself. You know, I bought Modern Warfare 2019 and thoroughly enjoyed it. I refused to buy Modern Warfare 2 because I didn't want to play the multiplayer, I only wanted to play the campaign, but I wasn't about to pay full price for something I was only going to half use. And then Modern Warfare 3 came out, and I outright refused to buy it because the campaign was about 3 hours long, and I just didn't want to buy a reskinned Modern Warfare 2. So, now I understand that Activision are notorious for being horrendous. I'm not stupid, but I would, if there is another COD coming this year, which there will be, probably, because they said they were going to do it down to a COD every 3 years, and that just hasn't happened. That's gone out the window already. I would like Microsoft, because obviously they own them now, to kind of turn around and be like, you know what, either you need to do something different this year, or you need to take 3 years. You need to take 3 years, you need to actually spend 3 years on a Call of Duty, and take time with it, and actually make it a worthwhile experience, and not just another cash cow that you know people are going to buy just because it's Call of Duty. You know, remember when games used to push the boundaries of what they were capable of? Remember when Halo, you know, well, I don't because I wasn't around, but remember when Halo CE first released and that just completely changed the gaming genre? You know, remember how Halo 2 and Halo 3 caused ripples worldwide through the media because of how big their launches were? And remember when Modern Warfare 2 did the same? You know, remember when games actually tried to push boundaries and to push what they were capable of and to push the tech that they had? And obviously, I understand that the technology we have now is far, far superior to what we had then. You know, in the space of 10, 15 years, it's evolved so quickly. You know, we have things now like Unreal Engine 5 that look incredible, and like 10, 15 years ago, developers probably could never have dreamed of a game looking that realistic. But now it's within reach, it's within grasp. So I would just like to see some games in particular, mainly COD, you know, but some others as well, kind of just actually, I would just want to see games this year push the boundaries. I just want to see games this year try new things, take risks, make creative choices. Don't just do the same thing because you know it works, because eventually that will kill a game, that will kill a franchise, because eventually the players will just turn around and go, this is the same thing we've bought 15 times in a row. Why are we buying it a 16th? And I already know there's massive disdain amongst COD fans, of newer COD fans and older COD fans, where the newer fans are the same as we were when we were young, and we'll just keep buying them. And then there's us then, some of us who are a bit older that have played some of the older Call of Duties, and we know the COD can be more than just a cash cow, and it can, when it wants to, push the boundaries and actually make creative choices and decisions to be interesting, and not just the same thing we've paid for 3 times in a row. You know? I'd also like to see this year, this is more of a whim and more of a wish, because I know it probably won't happen, but I'd like to see more single-player games this year. You know, I can think of a few single-player games in the past few years that have come out, you know, off the top of my head, such as like Jedi Survivor, and obviously we had Red Dead 2 a few years ago, that were both incredible experiences. If you've never played Red Dead 2, then you're seriously missing out. It's an incredible story. But I feel like single-player games are kind of not dying out, but they do really well, but like there doesn't seem to be a lot of them. Now, this could just be me, and maybe I need someone to point me in the right direction, so I guess I'd ask you guys, like, if any of you know any really good, enjoyable single-player games that are available on Xbox, then leave a comment, and I'll look into them, because I would like to try and play a few more single-player games this year. I do have a few I still need to do. I still have Jedi Survivor to actually start. I still have Red Dead 2 that's nowhere near 100% completion, so I've still got stuff to keep me busy, but it would be nice to have a few new experiences to play. But I think that's it from me. I know this video wasn't very, like, statistical. I know some people might have been expecting me to bring out a bunch of statistics and stuff. I'd be like, there were this many layoffs last year, we should aim for this, and this is how successful the industry was. I don't care about numbers, okay? I just talk about video games for what they are. Like, if I was making an in-depth video of, like, a half-hour video of the industry last year compared to what I want to see this year, then yeah, I would have used numbers, and I would have shoved a bunch of statistics onto the screen, and I would have fed you math. But I don't do that because I hate numbers. I like to just talk about video games as a media, as an art form, and that's what I think they are. So, in conclusion, what I want to see from the video game industry this year in 2024 is games that push the boundaries more, games that make more riskier and creative decisions. I'd like to see more single-player games too, because either there's not that many or it is just me, and I need to find some more. And yeah, I'd like games to actually not come out half-baked this year and actually have games come out consistently and have them working, and have devs actually stick to their guns. If they need to delay a game again, then delay it again. Make us wait. If it's going to be that, I would rather wait longer and have it come out perfect than be impatient and have it come out half-baked and then hate it. So, but that's it for today's video. This is the video I wanted to kickstart 2024 off with. I know some people may not agree with everything I've said, which is fine. I'm all happy to have debates with people in the comments. I love doing that. It's generally enjoyable, so long as we keep it civil, then I'm fine with it. Like I said, if you know any cool single-player games you think I might be interested in that are available on Xbox, please let me know, and I will look into them as soon as possible. because it would be nice to have a few single player games kind of on my backlog just to kind of look forward to. And yeah, just let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you agree with what I've said. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from the industry this year in particular. And let me know if there's any games you're looking forward to. I don't have anything in particular, but maybe you do. Maybe there's a certain franchise that you know is releasing something that I wasn't aware of. Or maybe there's a mainland game that you really, really love that's, you know, is releasing something new this year. So, yeah, just comment away. Let me know what you think. And, yeah, have a good day or night, depending on where you are. Stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one, and much love.